Can we have an open marriage? I'm sick of this. I didn't even hesitate. I said, absolutely not, but we will get a divorce. There you go. Absolutely. No, I'm not sharing my wife with no. What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's feeling good. Hope everybody's doing well. Guys, we are back with another email, another story. Let's just get into it, guys. Subject: ex-wife was asking for an open marriage. It backfired. Hello, my name is Danny, and I've been going back and forth for a while about whether I should even send this in. I've watched your channel a few times. Ever since one of your videos popped up in my recommendations last year. Okay, cool. I kept telling myself, my story is too messy, too long, too bizarre for anybody to believe. But after everything that happened and with where things stand today, I think it's time to let it out. Yeah, I saw someone in the comments actually yesterday too. You guys don't have the same names. I don't think this is you. But they were saying, man, I got to send you my story. It's just, it's long or this and that. Guys, send it in. I've read all types of stories, right? Send it in, no matter how if you want to. But send it in, man. I'll read it. If you want me to read it, I'll read it. But after everything that happened and with where things stand today, I think it's time to let it out. I'm hoping someone, somewhere, can take something from my experience, or at the very least, maybe it'll give someone a reason to think twice before allowing certain people into their home, their marriage, or their peace. I'll start from the very beginning, the part before things fell apart. I was introduced to my ex-wife through a mutual friend at a wedding. This was one of those small outdoor weddings, nothing over the top, just family, close friends, and a whole lot of beer and barbecue. My buddy pulled me aside and said, Danny, I want you to meet someone. She's good people. I wasn't really looking for anything at the time, but the second I shook her hand, I could tell she had a certain presence about her. Confident, friendly, outgoing. She was the type who could have a whole crowd laughing without even trying. We spent the whole night talking, dancing, and learning little pieces about each other. I won't drag out the early days too much. I'll save the phase of the marriage itself for another time if the audience wants it. But we dated 3 years before even getting married. And honestly, in the beginning, we were solid. Not perfect, but solid, We communicated, we had fun, we had goals, and we planned for the future. That's what made everything that came later feel like a punch straight to the chest. Fast forward to year 5. This is where everything started spiraling in ways I never imagined. My ex-wife reconnected with one of her old college friends. At first, I didn't think anything of it. Everyone has friends from their past, right? And I'd met this girl once before, briefly. Nothing stood out as a red flag material. She seemed normal enough. Just a single mom trying to make it. Her son was 4 at the time, but the situation escalated fast. One day, my wife sat me down and said her friend was moving from Richmond, Indiana to Kansas, where we lived. She said her friend had found a place to rent, but needed to get there first. And she was asking if we could pick her up from the Greyhound station. I agreed. I didn't feel comfortable about it, but my wife insisted that her friend just needed help getting on her feet. Well, when we picked her up, she was crying uncontrollably. Here comes the manipulation. Here comes the manipulation. She told us that the landlord she was going to rent from had given the unit to someone else because she didn't send the deposit fast enough. She was devastated, panicking, and saying she had nowhere to go. Now, I'm not a cold person. Not at all. I'm not heartless. I offered right there in the parking lot to help her find another place to stay. And I meant it. Financially, logistically, whatever she needed to get settled. But before I could finish my sentence, my wife jumped in and said, "She can stay with us just for a few months. She needs the support." I looked at my wife like she just made a decision for the both of us, which she had. I didn't like it, not one bit. Something in my gut told me this was going to go wrong, but I didn't want to be the guy who turned away a single mother with a small child. So I swallowed it, nodded my head, and said, "Okay, guys, don't be the whole happy wife, happy life. If you have a gut feeling about something, say something." It sounds like you wanted to put her in a Motel 6 or something, put her in a Motel 6, but I get it. The child with her kind of made you feel a little bad. Whatever. We got space. It's just her and I. I get it. But guys, stand up for yourself. That was mistake number one. The few months quickly turned into something else entirely. My wife and her friend were like two inseparable teenagers all over again. They spent hours together inside the house, laughing, whispering, scrolling through their phones, taking long drives to clear their heads. And before I knew it, every other weekend I was babysitting her friend's son while they went out for brunch with mimosas. Wow. Their excuse was always the same. She deserves a break. She's struggling. Wow. See, that's not your problem. That's not your problem. Oh, see, manipulation. Didn't I say it? The manipulation. Meanwhile, I was the one stepping in, giving the child structure, attention, and affection. I didn't mind taking care of him. Let me make that clear. That little boy, he grew on me fast. He was sweet, energetic, curious. He'd sit with me and watch movies, play games, ask a million questions about the world. I'd take him to the park, to the mall, let him ride the coin-operated rides until he was giggling so hard he couldn't breathe. Over time, I bonded with him in ways I never expected. But while I was building something meaningful with that kid, my marriage was crumbling right in front of me. My wife and I barely talked. She always seemed to be in her friend's universe instead of ours. Even when we were in the same room, she was miles away mentally. I kept trying to initiate conversations about bills, chores, plans, anything, but she was distant, dismissive, irritated for no reason. I felt like a stranger renting space in my own home. Then 3 months came and went, and her friend was still living with us. One night, I finally confronted my wife and said enough was enough. They needed to move out. I told her I had supported them long enough and that I needed my marriage back, my home back, my peace back. She blew up at me, screaming, accusing, twisting everything I said into some kind of attack. Her friend backed her up, and the next thing I knew, both of them stormed out of the house. They were gone for 2 whole days. Oh no. Oh no. Divorce, divorce, divorce. During those 2 days, I stayed home with the little boy. I took him out, kept him busy, made sure he ate, bathed, slept, played. And on that second night, when I tucked him in, he looked up at me with those big eyes and said, "Good night, Daddy." I froze. I can't even describe what that did to me. It hit me right in the center of my chest. That moment alone told me how much stability I had given him and how much instability his mother and her decisions had given him. When my wife finally came home with her friend, The argument that followed was even worse than the one before. Harsh words, accusations, things said that can never be unsaid. And in the middle of chaos, she threw out the dumbest question I've ever heard in my entire life. Can we have an open marriage? I'm sick of this. I didn't even hesitate. I said, absolutely not, but we will get a divorce. There you go. Absolutely. No, I'm not sharing my wife with no. She looked me dead in the eyes and said, fine. 1 hour later, all three of them were gone. The friend, her son, my wife. No explanations, no apologies, no attempts to work things out. They disappeared into the night and wouldn't answer a single call. The very next business day, I contacted a lawyer. I told him everything, every detail, every concern, every bizarre shift in my wife's behavior. He drafted the paperwork and we got the ball rolling. A process server delivered the divorce papers to her at her job. That's when she finally called me. She didn't call crying. She didn't call apologizing. She called me to insult me, called me weak, told me I'd regret this, said her new man would come to the house and handle me. Oh no. I've never heard that kind of anger in her voice before. It was like she was someone else entirely. For weeks, I barely slept. I kept thinking I heard noises outside my window, footsteps near the door, a car slowing down too long near my driveway. I was living in a state of constant anxiety, constantly checking the locks. Then came the court date. That morning, about 2 hours before I was supposed to be there, I heard a knock at my door. I opened it and saw my wife standing there alone, crying, shaking, mascara running down her cheeks. She said she missed me, said she made mistakes, said what's about to happen shouldn't happen, referring to the divorce. I told her, get the hell off my porch. I'll see you in court. On the drive there, I kept wondering if she'd even show up, but she did. She showed up in the hallway of the courthouse crying again, saying she didn't want the divorce after all. She told the judge the same thing. She tried desperately to stay married. She claimed her college friend got her addicted to drugs, said she was better now, that she needed help getting her old life back, tried every emotional angle possible. But I was done. I meant what I said. The judge finalized the divorce. Later that week, she was asking if we could meet and talk, just once. I debated ignoring her, but some part of me needed closure. So I sat with her. And she told me things that made my stomach twist. She admitted her friend had introduced her to drugs, admitted she'd been using more and more, admitted she was so hooked that she was allowing dealers to watch her son while they went out or worked long shift. Wow. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh, that's sad. That is sad. I broke down when she told me that. Yeah, I would too, dude. That's, oh my gosh. The idea of those men around that sweet little boy, it tore something open inside me. Right then, I made it my mission to find him and get him somewhere safe. With the help of my ex-wife and a private investigator, we tracked them down. CPS got involved immediately. They removed the child, thank God, and placed him into the system. I started the process of becoming his foster parent, then his adoptive father. Wow. Oh, wow. Whoa. And as of November 6th, he's officially my son. I adopted him. I don't know what your audience will think of that. Like I said, I've heard some stories on your channel. I don't know if they'll say I crossed the lines, made emotional decisions, or stepped into something I should not have. But I'll tell you this, with my whole chest, I don't regret a single thing. That boy needed me, and truthfully, I needed him too. He's safe now. He has stability. He has love. He has a home where no random men are watching him while drugs are passed around. He laughs again. He plays again. He sleeps without fear. As for my ex-wife, she's living alone now. She still reaches out from time to time, trying to crawl back, repeating the same tired apologies, telling me she's better, saying she wants her old life back. But she lost that life the day she tried to drag another man into our marriage and abandon responsibility for a child who was living under our roof. I'm not giving her another chance. Not now, not ever. Her friend, she's so far gone into addiction that I honestly wouldn't be surprised if she ends up dead. I don't say that lightly. I say it because I've seen firsthand what her lifestyle has become. Ugh. Anyway, true story, that's everything. Maybe it's too long. If so, I'm sorry. Maybe it's too heavy. Again, if so, I am sorry. But it's the truth. And it's the reason why I wake up every morning knowing I made the right decision. Thanks for reading. Dang, that is sad. But thankfully, that kid, and he'll realize it later when you tell him everything, you tell him the truth, because he's going to wonder, where's my mom? And you're probably going to tell him, you're not his biological father and how you got him. Hopefully he understands it and hopefully he appreciates it. Wow. Man, you saved that boy's life. You saved that boy's life. Who knows? She had dealers watching him. Are you kidding me? What, in trap houses and stuff? What a disgusting human being. And for your ex-wife to be friends with her, they're the same. That's why they like each other so much. I would not be surprised if your wife was dealing with drugs before she even came. It's probably something they were into in college. This is disgusting. And your wife has the nerve to try crawling back. Hey, can I come back? No, you can't. No, you can't. Salute to you, sir. Salute to you, man. You're a good guy. You're a great, great guy. I don't know how other people will feel. I don't know if people will say, yeah, you don't take on no one else's child. Oh, you're a simp. I don't know. I don't think we'll get those comments, but if we do, hey, whoop-de-doo. People, you're allowed to have your opinion. There's nothing wrong with that. But from me, sir, I think you did something great. And I salute you, man. I salute you for what you did. That was big. And it's a lot. You're taking on a lot of responsibility, but you felt it was the right thing to do. Salute to you, man. If you ever want to send an update, let us know what's going on, man. Let us know what happened. Oh, guys, if you want to send in a story, send it to truestorynation@gmail.com. Here, I'll put it on the screen. That's truestorynation@gmail.com. I'm going to catch you guys at the next one.